The most challenging moment on board during the COVID-19, that's to get people off.
Seeing colleagues getting stuck on board, not able to return home in due time.
We guys were stuck at sea for about 8 months, 9 months.
8 months on board extension.
2 months. All the contracts are extended.
Being lonely,
Continuous work pressure.
very hard to go home. Reliever cannot join.
Don't know if we will be going home on time or if we will be able to go home at all.
Countries, seaports, airports, and the borders are closed.
And it's a very stressful thing to have on your mind all the time. You're concerned about what's going to happen to your family at home.
We didn't know what's going on in our country. So it was really a very bad situation for us.
There's too many unanswered questions that we cannot get any answers for. We are in some very different situations, some more frustrating than others.
I got sick. It was very challenging to see a doctor. It was diagnosed as a carpal tunnel syndrome, and it needs operation. The pain was there, but then you have to do your job daily.
Some of our crew got infected with COVID-19. We still need to work on deck normally even if we don't know some of us already infected with COVID.
When I had the chance to sign off without reliever, I got worried also with the crew because they don't have any chief cook on board to cook for them. It was the steward who was cooking for, I think, for 1 week. We were chatting all the time in the messenger how to do these things, and he asked me how to do this, and he survived the 1 week the 1 week challenge.
A good thing we managed to sign off and survive the COVID pandemic.
I think the most memorable moment for me on board the vessels during the COVID-19 pandemic has in a contrast to how sad the situation is actually that the ships I have been on have never been more happy or had more space on board for laughter. And on my last ship we were laughing so much, and we had so many good times and so many sharing story moments, and here on Moscow we have so many fun events for the crew, and it really does something for the environment on board, and you can really feel a difference. So as hard as the situation is and has been, then for me it's never been more fun actually, and more interesting to be.
Enjoyment with colleagues and also the officers and engineers. Playing games like horse racing and bingo.
Must have been becoming the champion, Moscow Maersk champion in table food.
The most memorable moment for me during the COVID-19 pandemic was last year when I got my promotion and was shifted in between two vessels and got the opportunity to challenge myself as a chief officer.
And I got hired at Maersk because this was my dream, going international vessels. I was sailing for a long time on domestic vessels. Then when the COVID pandemic struck, most seafarers from the domestic trade got their chances going international. So it was a very big moment for me when I joined Maersk.
When I have succeeded getting people home on leave. In some cases, they have been on board for more than 8 months, and maybe we had a couple which were here for more than a year. But when they got the message, you are going home, that was the most fantastic moment. People were dancing, clapping, and having a nice time. The best personal item?
The best personal item to bring on board?
I think for me, as a woman,
For me, it's
Cell phone, always. Cell phone,
mobile cell phone.
vitamins,
Family photographs.
toothbrush.
For me, it's the laptop,
The speaker.
A mask, face shield, gloves.
or the toilet articles.
The best thing to bring.
Bible. That's my for fighting.
Various things so I can have my own personal spa days on board,
Communication to our family.
where I relax and pamper myself, feel a little bit more feminine.
Something that reminds you of home.
And for me, I like music.
because you can use it to communicate with your family. And when times get boring, during your rest time, you get to play your games. You know.
To maintain good health.
The underwears. That's the two most important things.
Also makes you stay on board comfortable. It differs from person to person.
Most important thing to improve for seafarers?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. When it comes to work, you can suggest anything, additional ideas.
And also, very important, the patience. Relationship with other crew. Respect.
To ensure they are obliged to travel in between countries, make sure they have a safe passage, and they are not late by all these restrictions currently ongoing. We are under a lot of pressure.
Their mental, physical health.
We have stress, fatigue, problems at home, depression. There's a lot of things on how to counter it.
Find a way to create more space for relations and for being able to talk about the more difficult things in life on board. To break down this barrier that makes us think of our colleagues as half strangers who will be leaving maybe tomorrow because of crew change, rather than take the advantage of the fact that we are 20-something people on board together who could actually really create something together. We're all in the same boat, literally. And I think it would be really nice if we in some way could improve this mindset among the seafarers that we actually, you actually have a friend on board. It may not be someone you know yet, but you're surrounded by people who are here for the exact same reasons as yourself.
It's important that they feel that they are being heard, that the responsibility each person is having on board is taken seriously. It's an ongoing process. I'm working very hard on having the crew put together as a team, not as a group, and we are working with team players, not with group members. So I find that very important.